Hello, amazingly creative humans out there. Happy Thursday, or whatever day it is in your world. So happy to be here. So I am so excited to be speaking with Ann Klossing. She is just I get to meet the coolest people, such big hearts and such bright lights that are being put out into the world. And we are going to find out more about who she is, why she said yes to being in the I would say the love mission of I love you because I love me because, and of course, how you can connect with her because you want to know her. So I'm just going to jump right to it and I am going to introduce her and first say hi. So, hi, Anne.
Hello. Thank you. Thank you.
So happy that you're here. So, why don't you and everybody? I know I should be looking at the green dot, but I want to look at Anne. So, if it doesn't look like I'm looking at you, it's because I want to look at my guest. No, it's not the right thing to do, but here we go. So, Anne, why don't you tell us a little bit about who you are, please,
Who I am,
and what you do, however you want to share.
what I do. Well, the I am part, that is always ever transforming. And that is something that I've learned through the school of life, the school of hard knocks. Who I am today in this now moment is I am an international #1 best-selling co-author in the book Women Who Shine. And I am thrilled to be able to say that. And that book came out in 2021, I believe, already. I don't know where time goes.
I know, right?
So I am an author and I'm working on my own book, and that is a memoir, teaching tool, and a guidebook. And the title of that book is called Finding You Is, and is in all caps. Finding you is finding God. And I would like to put a trailer to God. So if you're not a God believer in your creator, source, higher self, infinite, whatever that term is for you, I simply chose God because that was my childhood upbringing in a Baptist church. So that is what I relate to. But the child that learned about God, that definition is far greater than the definition that I have today, which is all encompassing, universal, huge. And we get to that word, love. So the subtitle to that book I've changed. Originally it was Overcoming Abuse, Depression, and Fear. And I was guided to change that. And it describes what I do, and that is the interrelationship between thought, universal law, soul agreements, and the human experience. And I don't know if you can see this,
Yeah.
but that is what I sketched out for my cover for the book. And it has a pyramid. It has a lot of meaning to me behind it. And when you read the book, you can go and reflect on that cover and you're going to go, aha, I get it now, why she chose that cover. So the book is complete and in the hands of my editor, and she is on a month sabbatical right now. So I'm not sure when this baby is going to come out. I have stopped putting a timeline on it because it has become very clear that it is divine timing and universal. They're going to tell me when it's time to be birthed. So I have stopped putting timelines on it because every time I have done that, it got muddled. It was a block and the flow of it would not go. So I'm all about flow and opening it up,
Yeah.
which leads me into the major portion of my work that I am stepping into, and what I am embracing is I am a channeler. So even since the last time I spoke with Hollis, I have opened up my Facebook group and I changed the name to that, which is We Channel Conversations with the Infinite. So I channel we, and we to me is creator energy. It is ascended masters. It is every aspect that you can believe. It's a collective consciousness. So it would be like standing in the middle of a stadium that is full of people. It's universal intelligence. So they're all coming at you and they funnel down into one we. that taps into my brain through thought. And that's how I channel. And my teachings are from a book called Ask and It Is Given. I had that handy. This is my tool that I healed from depression. It is Ask and It Is Giving, Learning to Manifest Your Desires. And it's the teachings of Abraham. The authors are Esther Jerry Hicks and Esther channels Abraham. And the book, when I wrote it, is a spinoff of that. And it's transformation and taking that emotional scale and putting it, even honing it down into a simpler way of looking at it. Because had I not had a level of skill before I picked up this book, so my beginning teachers, Louise Hay, Wayne Dyer, name escapes me. I had several that I was going through. They were all tied to Hay House and Louise Hay. And that is how I was like, oh, wow, there's more than me. There's more than this physical body. And how I had to learn how to put a level of skill to my thought. And I have spent a significant portion of the last 2-3 years in investing in myself. Teachings of Jack Canfield, the teachings of Mary Morrissey. And the book would not be complete without me having gone to those schools and learning and interpreting and then applying my story and my experiences on how I dug myself out of depression to a place of joy. So that's the nuts and bolts of the book. The channeling portion is so heartfelt for me. And the book is heartfelt as well, because my main mission is to take my experiences and my teachings and my ability to tap into infinite intelligence and put it in a format that you can understand, that you can embrace, and then you can take those tools and do it yourself.
Yeah.
We are all infinite. We are all intuitive. And you are unable to use it if you don't learn how. If you don't learn how, we're always constantly talking with our soul. We just don't acknowledge it. We don't realize it. And one of the biggest tools is our body.
So, okay. So I'm sorry to interrupt, but I just want to touch on this before I forget. So is the book teaching people how to?
Yes.
It's not teaching people how to channel per se.
Right.
But
it's teaching you how to get into connection with your soul. And that's the infinite. That's the intuitive side.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So what's so great about this and all that you do? So this is, and we're not going to go into all of it, but what I really love about what you do is we all have a story. And some people's stories are more extreme than other people's stories. But like you touched on already is how you've gotten to where you are in through all of these things that you've been through in what I call this abuse, depression, fear, and you going through this journey of working with all of these teachers and healing yourself. And it's a constant process of doing all of this. So maybe if you would share, you can take this where you want, but I'm thinking share like one of your stories in any of these categories. Maybe they all tie into each other of how either love or what your teachings that you've done to improve yourself has helped you to get to where you are. Please.
So first, the key elements in the book are understanding 3 universal laws, and there are many. 3 fundamental laws: the law of vibration, the law of attraction, and the law of free will. The law of vibration is fundamental. And if you do not understand the law of vibration, the law of attraction, you're going to be one of those people that say, the law of attraction doesn't work. It's not bringing me good stuff. The law of attraction is flawless. It brings you where you are at vibrationally. So what does vibration mean? Vibration means how you feel. How are you reacting emotionally? So taking that back, to a story, and it was my come to Jesus moment. It was sitting in a pasture. This was in my second marriage.
I love this story, everybody. I don't love it thinking that I wish it happened to me, but this is intense. Yeah.
So had a whole lot of life before that, got into a second marriage, and I refer to it and I call it the perfect storm in the book, because it was. We were two people that did fall in love. We did like each other at one time. His way of thinking and my way of thinking were two different things. And it started brewing this storm that was just incredible. And I find it in awe. Look at me smiling. I'm going, why is she smiling over such a situation? Because it's freaking awesome. Awesome that I was able to meet this person, drive me down. And it wasn't him that drove me down. It was my reaction to his actions that pummeled me downward into this depression for the second time. And we'd gotten into an argument. And I am a loving person. I like to give everyone the benefit of the doubt. And even though I had done something not good in my past, I had an affair during my first marriage. And before I entered into the second marriage, I wanted to be open and honest with him. And I told him about it. So I did. I told him about it. And it was like he held that in the back portion of his mind. And when anything went in between, like an argument with us, he would bring that up. Mind you, I still had connections with this person, but it was done. It was over. It was done. And I had to forgive myself for that. And it took me a long time, way after my divorce from him, to get past that. So many things that tied together. And we got into this argument, and he was just relentless. And I felt like I was going to hit that emotional breakdown again. So instead of staying in it, I fled from the house. And I went up to our north part of my property, where it used to be like a little 1 acre field. It's where I had my garden. And it was just an open area. And I sat on that corner of the garden, and I sat Indian style, and I bawled. And I had my head in my hands. And all these thoughts were coming in. Do I go up to Boscobel, and do I do 75, 100 miles an hour, and do I hit that cliff? Do I hit that rock wall? Do I drive my car off the bridge? Do I take a gun and shoot myself? All these suicidal thoughts that I never had before. I did before, but that was when I was on antidepressants. Now I'm in my early 40s, and they say, oh, that doesn't affect you. It's the kids that are on it. Bullshit. Sorry. Bullshit. I would think dark thoughts, but I never thought suicidal thoughts until I was on an antidepressant. And I was on an antidepressant. And one of the reasons we fought so much then was because I was being lifted out medically to a certain level. So as I'm sitting in this pasture, I'm bawling profusely. Something made me look up. Through tear-filled eyes, I see a coyote staring me in the face, not 20 yards away, 20 feet away from me. Close. And that got my attention. I'm scanning, and I see another one probably about 20 yards away. The rest of them were coming out of the wood line, coming in. And in the back of my mind, it was, do you want this? That was the question. Do you want this? It was like, in a split second, I had to answer that question. I didn't know it then, but that was my soul. Do you want this? And the answer was no. And this coyote took another step, slowly, and another one. And it's like, what do I do? The voice, this one was louder from the outside, said, bark. Stand up, bark. So I'm sitting there and I bark, and it kind of comes out like this, barkle. I'm crying. I can make any story funny. So I was like, barkle. So I stand up and I bark again. And it stopped him in his tracks, and he looked at me. So this is an alpha male. And it's like, now what do I do? it's like growl. So I started growling, and that really the coyote's now kind of going, oh, what the hell is this? And then, like a crazed woman, I'm probably about 42. Just imagine me, 42 years, and I'm running out after this coyote. And it went away. They all went away. They all receded, and I ran back. So my place is set back in. I ran down through the driveway, through the pine trees, and I was just trembling. I was just shaking. And before I went back in the house, because it's like, oh shit, now I have to face him. And I was just trembling. And it's like, you have to change. You have to change. And it's like, I heard the voice again. It was like, Anne, the common denominator. The common denominator in all the events of my life, including when I was 3 years old. And I was abused by my grandfather sexually. I was swindled. And people have a hard time believing that. As a child, how did you will that in through the law of attraction? That gets into part of the book that's called agreements. And you carry all this stuff with you. You have this invisible sack, and each experience, you just take that feeling or emotion and you throw it in the sack. Until that sack becomes so big, it pushes you all the way down the emotional scale, so that you're at the very bottom step. So the transition of the emotional scale from asking and is given to finding you as finding God is a stairway to joy. Thank you, Jack Canfield, for coining that term. Stairway to joy, so that you can navigate the 22 steps on this stairway. So Anne figured out that she was a common denominator in all the strife in her life. Every bit of it. Doesn't mean there's not other players there, but you can sit on the stair of blame. If you want to sit on that step of blame, great. You want to go down a few more to the very bottom step in despair, grief. I had given my power away. I had totally given my power away to my second husband. Totally given it away. So that's where the law of free will comes in.
Yeah.
They can talk to you. They can say things to you. That doesn't mean that you have to take it on. It doesn't mean you have the free will choice to accept what they say or reject it. I was not schooled in that way. I was like, you hurt my feelings.
Right. That whole react response.
Into that trap. How old am I now? 57. No, 56.
It becomes a blur.
Got to do the math. I'm 56. Yes. I was just turned 56. That's sad. I don't care about the number anymore. I don't. It's like you feel as old as how you feel. And in my mind, I don't feel 56. How is 56 supposed to feel? I don't care. I care about being on that number one step. I want to be in joy. I want to be in gratitude. I want to be in appreciation. And when crappy stuff happens, I want to be able to stand on that step, go down, walk down to whatever it is. If I'm angry, walk down to anger, feel it. Feel the anger. Be angry in an appropriate manner. Don't take that anger and throw it back at someone else, but process the anger. Give myself a time frame, walk back up step. And if I'm staying at that step too long, then I know the work that I have to do. The work that I have to do is to give myself 20 minutes of respite, where I'm going to walk up. Because at the very top of the stairway to joy is this gold throne. And that throne is where you sit in respite. And that is where your soul is, and your soul will wrap around you so that you can look through the lens of compassion. You can look through the lens of forgiveness. You can look through the lens of gratitude. You can look through the lens of unconditional love. Whew, I just got chills. So we is here. We is what came up with this extra transformation so that the masses can take this book and pick it up and use it and understand, because there's processes in there that you're going to, oh, that's just not resonating with me. Then keep flipping. It's no different than asking and is given. Find the process. They call them process.
Yeah.
Find what feels good, because when you can feel good, then you're going to jump up another step.
Yeah. I think what's such an important part about what you're saying is the fact of feeling.
Yes.
That we get so in our, there's so much of, oh, well, just move on, or it's going to be okay, or, rainbows or butterflies, or not, or in the bad and whatever the drama of whatever's happening. But so often people are not given the permission of the time to process the emotion. You feel angry? Be freaking angry. Like, be pissed. Be frustrated. But like you said, put a time frame around it. Because if you live on that step, then you are not going to climb up the scale. For anybody that is familiar with like the scale of vibration, and this is a perfect place to find it, is going to be in Anne's book. But you go up the scale of vibration to higher emotions: love, joy, happiness, gratitude, all of this. And did you say, is joy the top? Is it love?
There's several, but they're all at the same level of vibration. So, Abraham came out with joy, knowledge, empowerment, freedom, love, and appreciation. In the knowledge, it didn't come until this morning. The reason knowledge is in there is because when you're at joy, you're able to tap in to the other side.
Yeah.
When you're sitting in joy, you can tap into the other side, and it's the knowledge that you receive from the infinite. It's the knowledge that you gain. It's the knowledge that I can sit there and I can smile now when someone says my second husband's name, and I don't cringe, I don't loathe him, I don't blame him. And there is a skill in that. There is a skill in that, and that is called unconditional love. And when we come into this world as a baby, you are nothing but unconditional love.
Yeah.
Until you are in the hands of others. And then we begin to learn. And then we get sucked into social media, and we get sucked into all this stuff, and it doesn't matter. It does not matter. The only thing that matters is your happiness.
Yeah.
And I had a habit of getting into other people's business. If you want to put them on degrees, I wasn't at that far end of the spectrum. I didn't need to know everything about everyone. I've never been that way. But it was like, oh, I have to fix them. Oh, I have to fix them. And as a parent, that's something that we want to do. We want to fight our children's battles. And that was one that I had to step back from and let her fight her battles.
Yeah. Yes. Oh my, you bring up so many things that are just, everybody, this is why you need to talk to Anne. This is why so much knowledge, so much, just from that, everything that you just said, just from that story of from the coyotes and finding your power. So everybody, we all have our moments, and hopefully they're not as extreme, but whatever your moment is, where it's that empowerment moment where you're like, screw it. Like, I am done. This is my lesson. Like, do you want to die? Is that what you want? Because I can give it to you. Like, I can.
That's the law. That's the law. You think a thought, and no, just because you think a thought doesn't mean that, bam, it comes in just like that. It doesn't. It sets that frequency of vibration in motion.
Right.
And as we, like anger, the more you think about it, the stronger that vibration comes, the louder it becomes.
The louder.
And every single cell in your body is connected to your soul. And this is a big portion of the book, when you learn to feel through your body, that's the beacon, that's the radio tower. If you have an ache somewhere in your body, it's stored emotion. and not one of the high ones. It's one of the lower vibrating emotions.
Yeah.
Are you upset with yourself? Are you upset with someone else? What's going on in your life? And when you get into a state of meditation, you can think about nothing is really good. But if you want to get that particular pain, why do I have this pain in my shoulder? When you get quiet yourself, breathe deep, you can ask those questions. What is this pain in my body?
Yeah.
And when you can reach that state, and it's not going to come to you instantly, because I've asked about pains in my bodies, and then I've gone on a walk. Bingo, the answer came to me then. I was like, really? That was associated with that? Wow. So you might not get those answers when you're sitting in meditation, but it's when you've maybe gone off, you're in the shower. I have a lot of aha moments in the shower. It's when you're really thinking about nothing. It's creating the space in your mind so that the soul can come through and actually speak to you. I have a very active mind. My egocentric mind is nonstop chatter.
Right.
She could be a nag, just a total freaking nag.
Right.
And that is a skill on shutting that voice down, acknowledging it, voicing it, standing up to it. And that has been a lot for me, is standing up to my own egocentric mind. And I'll be honest with you, she's a nut job.
But it's a process, everybody, and it's understanding this, and it's not beating up on yourself, and it's not torturing yourself, because it really is a process. So because of time, so I want to, like, why did this even resonate with you? And talking about love, why was this like a full body yes for you?
So when we talk about love, and Donna Brown, if you're listening, thank you, Donna Brown, for introducing me to Hollis. She felt that it would just resonate with me, and it really did. So I love you, and I love me because. I love you because, and I love me because. I love a lot of people, and the one I miss dearly is my father. So that became a central point in my story through pictures and utilizing this book. And I love this creative aspect, Hollis, because it really, if you're not a writer, I'm a writer. I thought my book would be 100 and some odd pages. Nah, I think it's twice that now. So, I'm a writer, but I like creative endeavors. I paint. You can see that behind me. And I used to take photos, and then I would just take pictures. But I didn't use my own photography. I used those that were close and near and dear to me. And the I love me because that was the one that was really resonating with me. I mean, you've heard my story. I did not love myself. I loathed myself. And I forgot about the little girl many, many years ago. And out of protecting that little girl from being hurt, from being abused, the egocentric side of me wanted to protect her profusely. And she did a bang up job. But that's where our egocentric mind can really take us down these wonky paths, because we're not able to look at life from the lens of compassion, from the lens of joy, from the lens of gratitude, appreciation, and knowledge. So until I was able to forgive my grandfather, till I was able to turn the table and understand the agreement that he and I had as soul buds. And when I walked in his soul shoes, I get shivers. I just got them again today. That was the aha revelation. It was like, I don't know if I, in my human form, could have agreed to that. That I'm going to do something to you that's going to shake you up so freaking bad, but it's going to make you understand how powerful you are, how bright you shine, and how you will be able to take that story and affect the lives of thousands. And that is my goal, to affect the lives of thousands. Because I don't want anyone to beat themselves up on a daily basis, every freaking day, wake up in the morning dreading to go to work, wake up in the morning hating life. I don't want you to go through that. I'm so done with that. So done with that.
So done with that. So then how do
And it
you
still is a constant struggle with me. I mean, these are deep paradigms. So that's where the compassion and the grace comes with yourself.
Yeah.
Easy does it.
You're talking in terms that are very understandable, because I know people can relate to the words that the scenarios that you're presenting. So then what would be the advice to a person who, and I am very aware of this, being the publisher and being a creative and coming up with this idea of wanting to create this space where it's literally two books in one. I love you because I love me because, a different version of the concept of a book, photography, video, and or writing. How I am very aware that the I love me gets people, because where I'm thinking, and this is where people have like blown me away, is beyond surface. Talking about things like, I love me because I do hard things. I love me because I screw up all the time and I don't beat myself up. I love me because I have curvy hips and I've learned to love my body. But it's this process of not perfection. So, okay. So I want to hear from you. What would you say to the viewer who's like, well, I wouldn't know what to say, what I love about myself?
That's when I would advise someone, if you feel the pull to do this, there's a reason. And it's your soul it's your soul just tapping you, saying, hey, this is really important. I would love for you to do this. So take some time, undisturbed time. And I would say, give yourself an hour. Get into a meditative state. And if you've never meditated before, that's simply getting quiet. And as you quiet your mind, and what does quieting the mind mean? Quieting the mind means detachment. I want you to get so comfortable that you don't feel like, I mean, you can still feel you're numb. So it's like going to the dentist when they give you the happy gas. And you're so numb and you're so relaxed. And thoughts will come in, and just say hi and let them go on like a floating cloud. And when you can get quiet enough, you will ask the question, what story does my soul want me to tell?
Oh, I like that.
And you can do it for both. What story does my soul want me to tell in I love you because? What story does my soul want me to tell in I love me because? And when you do this, have your notebook ready and write down anything. It might not make any sense to you at all. Write it down anyway, because it may later. It may later. So I connect very quickly. That didn't happen overnight. It's daily practice. And now I'm kind of a hog.
You're tapped in, turned on.
I like that time. So, and you can do that with anything. What can I learn from this situation? What can I learn about this person? What is it in this person that annoys me? Because you might not be able to put your finger on it, but your soul does. And then when it comes out, my guess is it mirrors something about you that you do not like. And then have a good laugh at it. Be willing to laugh. And if something crazy comes out, like the green couch, and you're going to go, the green couch? What does the green couch mean? Just write it down, because you can think about your day, or you could be driving to work, and all of a sudden it is a memory with your grandmother when you were sitting on her ugly green couch. It could be something that simple. So it could be a lollipop. It could be something ridiculous, but all of a sudden, maybe 2 days later, it comes to you and you're like, oh my God, that's an awesome story.
That is so brilliant. And I want to, hi, Morgan, glad that you're here. Darcy, glad that you're here. Love that you just pointed that out, because first of all, just saying, getting out of your own way. What story, soul, do you want to tell? So you don't have to be responsible. in a sense.
No.
It's not living here, it's living here, and it's releasing. So what story needs to come through me? And the fact that you just brought up, and that's what I love about this space. I love the green couch. I mean, talk about grabbing people. If we're talking here about photography, maybe some words, a little bit, and then a video attached to, like, then it's like, what does that mean? Why would you love a green couch? Well, there's a story behind it. That this is what people have, is these scenarios. I could say I love, flies. And then it's like, what does that mean? Because one time it was really funny, actually, where we were at the beach and we got attacked by flies, and then we were laughing, and then we giggling, and then it created this whole experience of how we interacted together. So that's the beauty of this space. Thank you for bringing that up.
Well, you can thank my grandmother for that. And she called it a Davenport.
The couch?
It wasn't the most attractive couch, but hey, the Davenport. But I had fun stories and memories of my grandmother from the green Davenport. But yeah, that's cool. I got another chapter, ma'am.
There is so much to say, everybody. Oh my gosh. So let's, as we're wrapping this up, and how can people connect with you?
My website is in it's in a rebuild. You can go to it, but to get a channel clearing session with me, those links are down now. If you want to work directly with me one-to-one, just direct message me through Facebook, okay, or you can email me, and that is ann@annclassing.com. And that is my website as well, annclassing.com. So I do have a couple of channel clearing mentorship programs right now. Those would not be for a beginner. Those would be for a person who is awakened or in the process of awakening, where they're trying to discover their purpose, or they absolutely know their purpose and they just want to take their business or their one quadrant of their life or all four quadrants of their life to the next level. And it is an intimate reading with your soul that I conduct. And then the other program is we're digging into each life quadrant with your soul. And that's an 8-week program. So I've got a 2-week mentorship and an 8-week mentorship. So that's we plus one. That is we, the universe. The plus one is your soul.
I love it.
I just get chills. I am really super just thrilled about that program. And any of my programs, the book, it's not about me. It's about we. It is. There's chapters in that book that I go, I didn't write that, but I did.
That is the perfect way to wrap it up. Everybody, it's not about us as individuals. When you get to this point in life of it's not about me, it's for the greater good. It is for this passion, this mission, this whatever that is in your life, which could be a big mission in the sense of how it affects millions of people, or it could be just your family, or it could just be you as an individual, or for your animal. Like, we all have different purposes and reasons for why we're here. So I am so grateful to you, Anne, for saying yes. Thank you so much for your body resonating and being like, yes.
I can't wait for this book to come out, because I'm so curious about what are all the other gifts and talents that people come and bring to it. One of the projects that Mary Morrissey had us work on, and one of our spiritual immersions, was we got to play with art. And the one behind me it's got if I can point, it's like where my hand, behind my hand, that one, it's got the star.
Yeah.
It was looking at everyone else's creation. And some of them look like kindergarten work. But it's diving deep into that kindergarten work of what does that really mean? And there was some really cool stuff that looked like kindergarten work that was awesome, because it came from spirit.
Yeah. That's the whole idea. And so with everybody, if this resonates with you, again, it's expanding the idea of what a book is. So it's photography, video, and or writing. Raise your hand. I'll share information with you. I call it the love mission. It really is expanding this word love and what it means, and digging beyond the layers, because love is messy. Love is beautiful. Love is frustrating. Love is lots of things. And I think that once we dive into this and the humanism of what it is, and capturing people's stories. There's so many people that can relate in the ways that they can, and it just is inspiring. So again, Anne, thank you, and thank you to those all who showed up live, those catching the replay, #live, #replay. Again, if you're interested, then please raise your hand and we will connect. And I look forward to meeting you. So,
and one more plug for you is the proceeds to this book are going to 100cameras.org. So it's you're really getting out there. And I need to promote it again. So if there's people in my group that are interested, reach out to me, direct message me, and I will connect you with Hollis. So I just love this project.
Thank you so much for saying that. And yes, all the proceeds go to this nonprofit where it's about getting cameras into people's hands that wouldn't be able to have access to them. And to me, it's that whole idea of the lens and capturing those moments. And even if we were both all looking at the same thing, of course, not one of our pictures would be the same because we have different lenses and different stories. So we could just talk forever. So I thank you all to those who hung out with us live. So just wishing you a beautiful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you are in this world, and look forward to having you part of this mission.
Okay. Thank you for having me. Thank you.
And reach out to Anne. Okay. Take care, everybody. Bye.